What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk all things trending in movie and pop culture news. I'm your host, Chris, and today we have a teaser for Black Adam, not necessarily in the traditional sense, but in the sense that The Rock knows we want this movie, we want to see as much of it as we can, and today he gave us an awesome walk-in as he prepared to go onto the set to film some of the movie. Check it out right now. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our daily uploads. You can also follow me on other socials, Instagram at Chris M. Rosser and Twitter at TheCultureChris. Links are down below if you want to check those out. So, let's talk about DC for a minute, because DC has been all over the place. Now, a lot of this comes because of the new merger, Discovery Warner taking over DC. What are the plans going to be? Fans are getting excited for maybe a new leaf being turned over for DC and for the overall vision, plan, direction, and mess that it really has been up to this point. On the other hand, we've had issues with some actors, namely Ezra Miller, Amber Heard, people throwing wrenches into the beautifulness of what is a casting program. Now, the issue with things like this is you don't want to change actors too frequently, and that's something that DC has had to deal with since the very beginning. We're currently dealing with massive turnovers for Superman, Batman, and many other characters, and the changing of these actors has caused a big, huge deficit in the overall connection that the DCEU was trying to face. So here we are wondering what's the best course of action, because we do have some awesome movies on the way, like Shazam 2, obviously Black Adam. The Batman was a fantastic film that got a lot of people really excited, and we still, to this day, with DC, since the beginning of the DCEU, are kind of lacking direction. Now, the Flash film was supposed to be the big fix. This was going to open up the DC multiverse, allowing for us to kind of pick and choose which characters we want to see, and it was going to introduce a lot more characters, and hopefully the introduction of the multiverse for the DC universe was going to allow us to leave the DCEU and enter that idea, the DC universe, where anybody could be anybody, and characters from all over different universes and realms would be able to coexist, and from that we could finally have a little bit of peace as to the direction of DC. Well, it's all up in the air right now, and personally, if you were to ask me, I think, as sad as it is to say, I would just like to see them take a 2-3 year break and start over. Now, ultimately, I think it would be good if they decided to maybe release the Shazam movie, and that could be the beginning. Shazam doesn't actually have any evidence that existed inside the DCEU, and we could start over the new DC universe simply with Shazam. Black Adam's film can come out, and we can build off of that. Find a new Batman, find a new Superman, and build the Justice League movie around these characters. Now, sadly, it's not as simple as, hey, let's just restart, because people do love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and some of the stories that have happened. But I do feel that we do need a hard reset for the DC universe in order to properly enjoy its future, because we will forever be building on a foundation that was unstable, not connected, and rushed, and it was disappointing. The Justice League movie came out before the Flash movie or Cyborg movie were ever even created. We're still waiting for a Flash movie, and this is several years later. Whereas if you look at the more successful, let's be honest, counterpart, the MCU versus the DCEU, they had Iron Man 1 through 3, Captain America 1 through 3, they had Thor 1 through 3, all of this kind of coming together before they got to the big battles. And yes, an Avengers movie came out after characters were introduced. We already knew who the Hulk was because of his movie. We already knew who Iron Man was. Black Widow was introduced in Iron Man 2. She wasn't introduced in the Avengers movie. Then we brought them together because there was an idea. This is something that DC has been failing to put together, and I really do hope that they can get it figured out. I think Black Adam has a lot of potential to be an awesome solo film. I think that Shazam 2, following Shazam 1, has an opportunity to be a fantastic solo project leading into a trilogy, but where is the cohesion? And I know a lot of people argue, you know what, we're fine with just solo projects. We don't need DC to be a connecting, collaborative project. You know, But deep down, everybody wants to see an awesome Justice League movie. People want to see team-up movies where, hey, let's take Black Adam and put him together with Shazam. But we want it to make sense. We're picky as fans, you know? We want every detail to line up and to show some type of organization that, well, this is Superman's story, this is Wonder Woman's story, here's Shazam and Black Adam's story, now let's have them fight each other or with each other, or start off fighting each other and then stop fighting each other to fight a bad guy. Something cool like that, and I do hope that they're able to figure that out. This Black Adam teaser does have me excited. I'm a huge fan of The Rock personally, and I'm very excited for Black Adam because he is a super cool character, and if you don't know who he is, you're going to have a blast when the movie does finally release. Let me know your guys' thoughts though. Do you have hope for DC? Are you fine just the way things are going, or do you agree there needs to be some type of change so that DC can ultimately have a new opportunity for success? Thank you guys so much for watching to the very end of the video. If you found it helpful, useful, or interesting, consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell, and I'll be catching all of you guys on the next one right here on Cosmic Culture.